Okay, let's get down and dirty. Diego, my friend, I'm gonna try something too. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Where is it? OneNote. OneNote app. Boom. So this is the feedback from the Ninja subs. Let's do this. Okay. All right, Diego, buddy friend. We're gonna just look at this real quick. Just paste that in here. So just initial impression on portfolio. We got a pen. Let's give it a nice color. So let's see. We've got a substance. It looks like. Just I'm going off thumbnail experience, right? So we got a substance here. There we go. A little bigger. So it looks like we've got at least materials. We've got a scene. I guess maybe we should just say substance. And then prop. Prop, arguably weapon. Prop. An environment. Prop. Prop. Environment. Environment. So you got 3 environments, 4 props, 1, 2, 3, no, 5 props, and 2 substances. So this is OneNote, just for anyone curious. Yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm just gonna take screenshots. We're gonna give this this huge thread and call it good. I reorganized your stuff just off the get-go for have your environments. I know this text's really small. I'll scale it up in a second. So go environments, props, substances. And the only reason I say in that order is I'm gonna have to get used to this. I like this though. This is good. I'll give it like that. Yeah, so environments, props, substances, mainly because you say you want to be an environment artist, so you want to have your environments up front. You for sure want to have your challenge image here. And the thing that I would suggest with this is to maybe get some type of what do you call it? Like a logo or something here that tells you that it's a challenge. I know that when you mouse over it, there's this big block of text here, so you can't really put it there. Maybe up here, just ArtStation challenge, or but yeah, so now that we've looked at that, let's kind of dig into the portfolio itself. Nice. Shout out to the Discord challenge. That's cool. So right off the bat, initial impression is pretty cool. I feel like it's really matte. Like the roughness is very subdued. And the only way to really, like, if we copy this image, we'll go here. The cool thing is, I think what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to give you a link to this afterwards so everyone can look at this stuff. So So first off, from the side view, whoa, oh geez, that's a thing. Let me see here. When you zoom in, it gets way smaller. What? Right. So from a side view, the keyboard, yeah, I'd love to see the keys popping out. From the front view, I feel like these coming out a little further would improve the silhouette. In the bottom here, maybe adding some type of seam or like a cap. I know it's not in the concept, but a cap here with some bolts to like explain how this is all connected together. Because right now it's very like a single mesh, right? These little lines here, these inverse indents, these there's a word for that. Anywho, those are really cool. I think adding maybe something here that's like an indent that goes back to the, I'm like trying to think, from a side view it would be like this. It would indent and then come back to the frame. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. The other thing I would say is that while the metal is really rusted, it still would benefit you to really show the shine. That way you can actually see the contrast between the rust and the metal. And that goes for the paint as well. I'd have like large areas of paint that are relatively smooth just so that you get more impact as far as like your roughness range. Like these are kind of areas of rest. I'll combine all this. These are areas of rest which are good, right? This is almost an area of rest too. And then the high frequency details, which we'll mark with like a different color. So these details, these are the high frequency details. And it's important to have these, but it's also important to have them in a low ratio versus the rest of your asset. And for the most part, I mean, it looks like you have that. I think just getting your paint to be a little bit more reflective so that you get the contrast between the rust and the paint. And then the same with adding some rhyme and reason to how the rust formed on the bottom, similar to how it is on the top. So like on the top, like you have areas where the rust makes sense, right? Like where it's formed kind of like around the edges. It starts here, it starts at the bottom, and it works here. I would expect it to do the same thing here. Maybe here there's a seam or something, and rust is built up at the bottom here and is spawned up at the bottom. It kind of worked its way up with a little bit of gradient. It's just, it looks really tileable material at the base. That makes sense. Overall, though, the asset looks pretty cool. The screen feels like it might be a little low poly. Like if we go in here, can I just... I'm new to using this. I use OneNote quite a bit, but I just started using this for critiques and stuff, and I'm finding it's pretty nice. Anyways, this looks like it might be rounded, but getting an intentional smoothing of that to try and clean that up so that it doesn't look as low poly, because it looks like there's verts here, and here, and you're just, so it's still really faceted. That makes sense. Yeah. Trying to see what else we got here. Overall, though, it looks cool. I like the color of the paint and stuff, and the screen could maybe use, like, I had talked about it on the stream or on the Discord a little bit, but like you see you're getting this little sheen here, and it's getting blocked out by the rust because the rust is, it's building up on there and it's not as reflective. To get some like fingerprints that do the inverse of what fingerprints usually do to simulate like dust. So you could have like a scrape pattern, like someone ran their hand across the screen and got a little bit of the dust off. Yeah. Let's move on to the rest of your portfolio, actually. Yeah, these are all really good. See the range there is like it needs some some cleaner areas where basically like this area, the roughness would have less variation and be on the darker side, so that way it looks smoother and a little bit cleaner. Poly count wise, it looks all right. It looks a little high, but I mean, I guess you're trying to get the smoothing to work out for you. Wonder what the, man, that is some bakage. What's up, Justin? How you doing? And then remember that your rust is not, rust is more often than not subtractive. And here it looks like it might be additive. I'm not sure. See, I'm now noticing your keys are modeled into, I think I saw it in the wireframe as well, but maybe if the keys popped out further. And then if the panel wasn't as rusted. Okay. Remember critiquing this one. This one's really cool, actually. So let's grab this one. I'll scale this up a bit. Man, this is... I have a friend who works on this team. I should talk to her about how to make this more friendly for art critiques. That'd be cool. Let's grab another color here. So maybe we'll go with green. Yeah. All right. So the characters here being the size that they are, I think is okay. They need some supporting rocks that are smaller just to help bring them in a bit more. And then if they're not going to be textured, I don't know if they're white robed or if they're untextured. When in doubt, adding a little bit of value to, or like a little bit of color to them will immediately make them look finished, I guess. Let's see what else we can comment on. Yeah, we can't use that color. Maybe this one. But yeah, I maybe making their robes darker or giving them like a gradient where like the base is a little bit darker than the top, and then they just kind of bring it down. They're for sure too white as far as the albedo range goes. These rocks here feel really large. Like they look scaled up large. I think maybe adding a few more smaller ones could help. Let's see what else we got here. I mean, in general, this looks pretty good. This edge is really clean. Let's see if we can... This edge here looks super clean. Maybe either dinging it up or kind of bending it, or... I'm not sure. I know where it meets the ground. There's these little spots where the terrain's dipping under it, and then you get in a little shadow gap. I think that's what that is. I would just extend this edge deep into the ground, just like a little bit more. Again, some more like smaller rocks around here just to bridge the gap between large and sand. Just all these little, like if I, let's see here. Let's see if I can do this. Oh yeah, look at that. I can just delete those. Like I'll just do them dark so that you can... So you can get the feel. Yeah, because just getting that small amount of breakup of just other rocks being included in the detail will instantly like make the brain think there's more detail than there is. And you can just do that with a single like cluster of meshes and just scatter that around and scale it. Especially if you have a detail normal on it, you can just scale those around. But it's basically like what you're doing here, these little guys. And just, I don't know, maybe through this whole area. Let's see here. Through this whole area, you could probably scatter like, I don't know, 200 of them. Something like that. Just get that, because like having it so clean, man, maybe 200 is too much. I'm not sure. You just have to look and see how it goes. Just try out a bunch and see how it goes. Let's see what else we got here. Oops. In general, this shot's pretty cool. The poly count of this is really low, so you're seeing like the stepping. So like, let's just we'll just sample a piece of this. Oop. So this and this. I'll just do that. So you want to look out for highlights and poly count. Okay. Oh wow, there's a lot of like tessellation going on down here, it looks like. Oh yeah, see, these look good. They just need some smaller rocks that aren't as small as the ground texture. The foliage looks like it might be Judd, thanks for the 4 months in a row sub. Empire Heart Empire. All hail Maru. Yeah, I mean, this is really cool. I think it would be nice if this back panel here, I take it this is a tileable. If you could displace that so the panels have some lifted pieces so that the silhouette isn't so hard edged. Let's do this. Just stuff like that would be really cool. I can draw, I swear. What's up? How you doing, Smokey-O? Oh, this is nice too. Good prop breakdown. Man, those plants look really soft. Whoa, that material is crazy. I'd be careful with either the amount of dirt that's in here or sand or the darkness of the metal paneling. Like this range here is probably a little bit better as far as values go, or albedo. This stuff's cool. This looks great. This is really cool too. Actually, I don't remember seeing the... Oh yeah, see, that's really subtle there. I would actually take a light that's similar to this color and just place it to kind of like highlight this edge, just so you get a little bit more detail there. What's up, Nathan? How you doing? We're just going we're going through a portfolio right now. This is nice. Yeah, see how smooth this is? And then on your mesh it's really low. Oh yeah, that's cool. I would suggest, oh, so you're painting where it happens and then it, top of line, sand, it could be refined with vertex. Nice. I was going to suggest do exactly that. That's good. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I think this small little detail here might be a little shallow. Yeah, these guys are really... I think darkening this a bit will help. These look cool. I think the density of this one is too high, and the density of this one is still just slightly too high. This one's good. See how much space there is between everything? It allows the mipping to stay free of like the alpha crushing itself down into a solid. Like your grass here, I bet real quickly at the base from here down just becomes solid. This guy for sure becomes solid, and this guy becomes solid here, but then these like little side pieces, like this side area here is perfect density as far as like how close leaves and branches and stuff should be kind of clustered together. This is good. If it was like that throughout, that'd be pretty nice. They're not bad. It's just some refinement. Let's fast forward through this. Yeah, if this was tessellated, oh man. Or if you just cut some of the panels out and place them on top of it. The fading to black, be careful with that. Fade from one shot to the... It's good that I'm not sure now. It's good that the motion is continuous. A shot that starts still after the video has started usually looks pretty... It looks like it's not ready. This sign in the prop view looked fine, but here it looks overly saturated. I'm not sure. That must be like post-processing. These guys are really solid as well. I would suggest maybe like insetting or adding panel loops that actually allow you to change the shape of the mesh a little bit. Still want it to be cylindrical, but you want to, you know, tighten it up a little. Add some silhouette breakers. In general, this looks pretty good. The same thing goes for plants as it does for rocks. Let me see if I can get... Scroll. For the plants here, having like a single plant usually looks kind of weird. Like back here, it looks pretty good. See these little guys? Scattering those around kind of imitates seedlings of the same plant that have grown, and then maybe like another strong one. There's a strange lack of plants in this area. If there was even just like one with a couple seedlings and maybe a few like little tiny shrubs that have survived the fall, landfall. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna just go through these ones really fast. This relatively looks pretty good. This area is really interesting. I'd like to see it in the engine, because moss can't simply be a material. It has to be like it has to be blended with other stuff. It also has to be like, it needs to have like a cloth value to it, so a Fresnel information that's all around the edge. Some AO to give it that depth, especially at the core. So it's like AO that's being masked by a Fresnel also. Naughty Dog did a really good talk on it. Or not a talk, they did a paper, technical paper you should check out. I think that's in our resource page. This looks pretty cool. It looks stylized. From this view, I guess that's a different stone. Yeah, these are all slightly different. The cracks on here look a little procedural, maybe not. Some of them look a little odd. And then this might just be me being weird about my normals, but make sure your green is always pointing up, just because visually, at least devs, I don't know, it's back and forth, but when I see a normal that's like this, my brain thinks that the normal is flipped. Of course, it's just DirectX versus OpenGL, right? But putting the green at the top usually, quote unquote, looks more professional. That could easily be argued. That's just my feeling. Pretty cool. Oh, and you're a straight line guy. You remember that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So that one's pretty cool. Whoops. This looks really nice. The highlight here is pretty cool. I feel like there should be maybe like a little bit of a sheen here, but overall, this is really, really well done. Oh man, look at that lighting setup. Geometry-wise, looks pretty good. It's clean. It's got the bevels where you expect them. Yeah, this looks nice. This is good that you modeled this out too, because that could have easily just been a straight line, but the shape is so much more impactful, you know? Interesting presentation too. Cool. This one's cool. It looks like it may be missing a bit of like the resolution, or it needs like a detail normal or something. But in general, I mean, I'm expecting to see like a texture set. But overall, this looks nice. These could use a bevel. This looks like it's one of your older assets. The attention to detail on the handle there is really nice, as well as the lock. If you're gonna model that lockout too, I would probably like let's see here. If you're gonna model that lockout, I would suggest lifting it up a bit. So like, if it's like this, right now it's like that much. I would suggest cheating like me and copying this. Whoa. Something like that. Just a little bit thicker, so that way you're getting the benefit for the scale, or for modeling it. Man, we spent a long time on your portfolio, sir. I need to move on to the next one. I think you're ready to get into the industry. I don't see why you shouldn't be able to get at least an internship, if not like like a junior position, an entry level. This one, I wish I could see more of this, because the video is really it's a little blurry, which might be me. And then everything's really soft, so like screenshots. Now you're just picky. Baba the Sneak, what's up, man? Dude, I've seen some picky art directors. Sup, dude? This looks nice. Pretty cool. This might be a tad too reflective, but I like the effect it's giving. Maybe it's just the brightness of the environment. Like, that's like blinding. The wood could be maybe a little bit it might be a little too oiled. Some areas where the wood's dried a bit could be nice. If it's supposed to be polished and stuff, then these groove lines should be like much less than the normal. But yeah, if you're not in games right now, you should be able to get into games. This, I don't see why not. This is cool. Really like the presentation too. Nice, clean. These are cool particles. Did you just cross those? Or are they actually camera facing? Yeah, cool. That's one way to do it. I don't think Marmoset does camera facing. I could be wrong. No, I think it does. I'm not sure. I don't use it. A private review instead. Let's talk on the Discord after the stream. I'll see what I can do. Okay. So yeah, I think you should be able to get into a studio, and I'm really happy that you were able to do this. That's super cool. We have other challenges going on right now too, so keep your eyes peeled. They happen on the 15th of every month. It's a prop challenge, a weapons challenge, and then a substance challenge. The substance challenge this month too is really crazy. It's like barnacles on rock. If you can get that depth to look right, delicious. All right, let's switch to the next portfolio, and then we'll get to the critiques. And the critiques on the Discord. Be right back.